Good news, Steeler Nation. Our offense is in fact built for comebacks, despite previous reports saying the opposite. Big Deke news. It's been an interesting week, to say the least. To start, we had a Matt Canada burner account pop up on Twitter, and they defended the offensive coordinator's honor at any chance that they got. People legit thought this was Matt Canada, and it did make sense because who the hell else is going to defend Matt Canada and this Steelers offense? They had no post, and they had like 12 or 13 replies to people shitting on Matt Canada and his play calls. It did make you wonder, but I think since then it has been debunked. But fast forward to today, we hear from the actual Matt Canada in a press conference, and he had some things to say. One was that he believed one of his prior comments about the Steelers offense not being able to come back was taken out of context by CBS. Have a listen at his full explanation.
Do you feel like you have the personnel to come from behind when you get behind like 14, 16, nothing?
I'm glad you asked that question because obviously Angela preps me on things. So that is an unbelievable misinterpretation of a conversation. So I'm going to take a real nice time here and explain what that was. Obviously, you guys all know because you know everything about how it works. Pre-game, we talk to those crews, talk about what's going to happen. We try to give them information. The conversation was why we ran more runs and play action against the Raiders versus the opening game. And why was that? As you look at a stat sheet, did it look that way? As you guys all know, the start of that 49er game didn't go the way we planned. Really didn't do anything until we had the 95-yard, 2-minute drive. We're down 20-7. So you're down 2 scores. You come back, they score. We had a decent drive there, moving a little bit. Deontay got hurt, as you recall, got down there, got stalled, got a stop, came back again. And the conversation was at that point, I think it was probably 3 minutes and 15 seconds ballpark when we got stopped. At that point in the third quarter, at that point, we're down 3 scores with 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the third. 3 scores. You're not going to stick to your running plan and the plan of running play action when you're down 3 scores. All we care about here is winning. So the conversation was at that point, the plan, wasn't built to do that. Then you had to go. Obviously, I believe we were going to win till the end. I kept throwing it to the point of our lineman had to do 46 dropbacks. Kenny had to do that. At no point was that conversation meant in that regard. I certainly believe he knew that. He obviously was taken wrong if not. But of all the things we want to talk about and say, at no point do I doubt our players, doubt where we are, doubt we can come back. No doubts. I was literally saying any football person would tell you, you're down 3 scores with 18 minutes to go. You got to start going faster. You got to start being in a 2-minute mode. You have to score more points. That's how that came out, and certainly everybody on the offense is well aware of that.
I'm not gonna lie, I like this response from Matt Canada because when I first saw the quotes and saying that this offense isn't built to come back, I was like, "What the hell, bro? Are you just waving the white flag on this offense? Do you not think our players are good enough? You don't think this offense is good enough?" It's your job to get us good enough. You're literally the play caller. You're literally the OC. It's your job to put up points, whether it's the first quarter, whether we're leading games, or whether we're trying to come back or not. You got to figure that shit out. So for him to clear this up and say that CBS took the quote, took it out of context or whatnot, and I get what he's saying. He's basically saying once you get down 3 scores, it's almost the fourth quarter. You got to scrap the initial offensive game plan and do whatever you can to try to get back into it. So basically what he's saying is like our initial scheme, our initial thought of what the offense needs to be going into some of these games isn't built for comebacks. We're trying to be more balanced and whatnot, but once you get into a hole, you got to scrap it and just go 2-minute drill and try to sling the ball and give your best effort for a comeback. So I get what he's trying to say, and he's being honest about it. It's just we need to do a better job at coming back and putting points up on the board. Simple as that. And I don't know about you guys, but as we sit here today on a Thursday, middle of the week, more and more removed from that disaster that we witnessed that was the Texans game, I get amped over stuff like this. I know actions speak louder than words, but Canada has handled himself with dignity and class in some of these interviews because he has definitely been getting a bashing. He has definitely been getting a lot of criticism, and rightfully so because the offense hasn't been good enough. But hearing him talk, and also just the fact that someone from the outside, an outside entity like CBS, took some words that Matt Canada said, took them out of context. It makes me want to stick up for the guy. You know what I mean? It makes me think, you know what? Yeah. We the Steelers, we about to turn this around, man. I believe what he's saying. And then Sunday comes around and they show Canada up in the booth. We're down 20-plus points and the offense has a couple field goals. I'm like, fuck that, man. We got to get this guy out of here. We really got to get this guy out of here. But then we go back to the cycle 3-4 days later. Press conferences from Tomlin, Canada. Some of the players like Najee Harris, he had some good things to say that were motivating and inspiring. I think, you know what? Yeah, that was a wake-up call last week. We're turning it around. But I thought the Browns game, the 49ers game were going to be wake-up calls for the offense. But maybe third time's a charm. If you guys didn't hear Najee's comments, here they are. I actually thought they were pretty good. He thinks the media is taking it too far with blaming the coaches. He feels like it's all more on the players. And they just got to execute better out there. That has been one of the buzzwords a lot over these last 3 or 4 weeks. Players executing, players doing their job. But here's Najee Harris.
Look at bro. Yeah, but the coach is only a coach. But like, at the end of the day, we got to do what we have to do. You know what I mean? I see everybody talking about this coaching stuff, about the play calling, but bro, like, do y'all know how football works? Coach is only a coach, but we got to execute the plays. Like, we're not trying to point the finger at all. This is not the time to do that. Neither it keeps being a conversation you brought up, like, or not even a conversation brought up, but things that's just talked about so much. It's crazy. Like, we have to execute at the end of the day, no matter who's back there calling the plays. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly say that we're not doing that right now. Not coaches. It has nothing to do with coaches. It's just players. We have to play better. You know what I mean? We can't just keep looking at the coaches as an outlet or whatever y'all putting out there as outlets. It's just stupid what y'all doing, really. You know what I mean? We can say what we want, but like I said, players play, coaches coach. You know what I mean? We can't just keep looking at and pointing fingers. We got to point at ourselves. It's the man in the mirror, really. You know what I mean? This is the NFL. Everybody runs the same damn plays. You know what I mean? Everybody disguises it differently, but you know what I mean? It's just how we gonna play it, and we're not. Truthfully, I think that we're just not playing right with that edge right now, and that's what we need to do better.
It's at the point now, just everyone's getting blamed, and I don't even know where the pie chart is on all this. The players, Canada, Tomlin, Rooney, because there's something else that just came up from Jerry Dulac saying that if Tomlin wanted to, he can fire Matt Canada. Like, he has that type of power. Some people were skeptical on that. Was it more a Rooney thing or not? Who knows? I mean, we're getting so many reports, so many words, so many messages being thrown out there on who's to blame about this offense. It's all of it. Let's just get this offense better. It's as simple as that. So we don't have to be talking about this ad nauseum. That's the point where I'm at right now. Like, I want our offense to come out absolutely guns blazing this Sunday. Kenny drops 3 touchdowns, 400-plus yards of total offense. We have 30 points, blow out the Ravens. 3-2, top of the AFC North, and then we're on our way. But what has Matt Canada done during his tenure as the Steelers offensive coordinator that makes you think something like that is possible? Not much. And I get it. It's not on him. Players got to play, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But with him at the helm, with him at the head of the play calling and this offense, it hasn't been pretty. About 75 to 80% of the time. It hasn't been consistent enough. Our rankings over these last 2.5 years as an offense is like bottom of the league. But there's hope. There's always going to be hope that we're on to next week. Maybe things change in a snap of a finger, and we do all that, and yeah, momentum keeps going for the rest of the season, and Canada looks like an offensive genius. Who knows? We haven't seen that track record. We haven't seen that history from Canada, so it's hard to predict that. I can see why you would have little hope of that happening, but there is always a little bit of hope. Like, I want this offense to do good. I want Matt Canada to be the best offensive coordinator in the league. It just hasn't been the case. And I guess where I'm getting at with all this is I'd rather us be 3-2 and keep Matt Canada, dare I say, even though I've even called for us to fire Matt Canada to get a shakeup, to get something going, to get some type of inspiration or culture change. Like, There's got to be something, right? Something's got to give. But since Matt Canada is still here, sorry, I'm rooting for my guys. I want Matt Canada to do good. I want this offense to do good. I want us to be 3-2. And I want us to be on top of the AFC North going into the bye. Like, I don't like that losing mentality. Because, one, you're still in playoff contention. Every game matters. And I get people are saying it'd be an addition by subtraction. Like, it'd be a loss in the short term for a greater win in the long term. I get it, but it's just not a good mentality. It's a losing mentality. It's not the way to go about things. As long as you are still in playoff contention, you play to win the game. And just the fact, too, if we lose, there's no guarantee that we fire Matt Canada anyway. I think we are going to win this game. I think there's something about backs up against the wall. There is a stat out there, actually. Tomlin, after like a certain loss that he suffered the week before, comes out and is like 85 or 90% on a win for the next game. So there is that. I do think we win. Backs up against the wall. All the negativity from the media. Hopefully that brings the team, the locker room, the players, the coaches, all that closer together and they get on the same page. But I'll do a Steelers and Ravens preview most likely tomorrow. So this was just, I guess, a very offense Matt Canada heavy episode today, as is a lot of the Steelers talk going around right now. But hope you guys enjoyed. Stay chilling and peace.